Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a second secondary, the Travel of Three book. Today, as you can see, we have some reading and vocabulary and some grammar. So let's get started with our first, what we learned today. Our objectives, as you can see, there are three. One, introduce the topic of the reading activity. Then we're going to practice in identifying word meaning from a context. And number three, revise the uses of the present perfect simple and the present perfect progressive. So for number one, we're going to have some reading, okay? And we'll see what is this reading about. Number two, we'll also try to find some words that we identify some words from the topic or from the reading. And finally, I think number three is the most important one, which is about the two tenses. We call them the present perfect simple and the present perfect progressive. So as we can see here, if you can see with me here, there are some words we need to ask ourselves, because the big question is, in your opinion, what is important when choosing a career? So now most of you are, second secondary, now you have third secondary, and then you go to college and you need to choose what to do. You need to ask yourself a lot of questions. These questions really here, they mix together. What do you love? What if I succeeded? What if I didn't succeed? What is the salary? What is the money? Am I gonna be happy if I choose to be a doctor? Am I gonna be happy if I chose to be a teacher or an engineer, a businessman? Is it accessible to many things I want? Rich is happy, or happy is, makes, happiness. Money makes happiness, or happiness help you live your life. There are so many things that come on your mind, actually, and you need to actually decide before you choose your career. If you love the thing, if you have a talent, if you're talented in science, if you're talented in, managing people, if you're talented in transmitting information to others. So you either want to be a teacher, want to be a lawyer, doctor, professor, a firefighter, policeman, works for the army. The most important thing for you is that, do you really love this? Do you really have a talent with this? Are you really satisfied? You really know that you're going to succeed when you choose a job or career or your future career. That was an introduction for the reading. So the reading here is a story. And as you can see, we have some underlined red words. We're going to talk about these words after the reading. So you just try to follow and guess their meanings in the text. All right, I'm going to read for you now. I am what you call a bookworm. I find nothing more entertaining than staying at home and reading a good book. I read anything from adventure to science fiction. If I start reading a book, I don't put it down until I finish it. My parents are constantly complaining that I don't do anything else, but I have no intention of changing. I have recently started writing, and I hope to write a bestseller in the future. I also spend a lot of time in bookshops. Last week, I came across a book about famous writers. Since I started reading it, I have had the opportunity to learn that lots of writers had similar interest to mine when they were young, and it's nice to know that I'm not so out of the ordinary. So that was the reading text for you. Now let's see those words that were underlined and written in red color. Now match the highlighted words or phrases in the text with their meanings. So we had these words to the left from 1 to 4. Bookworm, That's number one. Number two, constantly. And number three, intention. And number four, come across or came across. Now I want you to match these words with their meanings here. Let's try to guess their meanings. Is it let's try bookworm. Is it A, found by chance, or B, a plan about what you will do, or is it C, someone who likes reading, or D, all the time? So as you can see from the text, I can really guess the meaning and try to say bookworm. It means somebody who is always with books, somebody who likes reading a lot. So the best one to choose for number one, which is bookworm, is someone who likes reading. So number one goes for C. And number two, constantly. It means continuously. You don't stop. So now we have A or B or D. Found by chance? No. A plan about what you will do? No. All the time? Yes. So constantly means all the time. So 2 for D and 1 for C. Now intention. Intention. Is it something A, found by chance, or a plan about what you'll do? Of course, intention, it is a plan about what you will do. And finally, of course, the last one is so easy to come across or to came across, found by chance. These are the answers. So number one, someone who's a bookworm, it means he likes to read a lot. Number two, constantly, all the time. Number three, intention, found by a plan about what you'll do. And finally, came across, found by chance. Now let's talk about the most important part of this lesson, which is the grammar. Now let's talk about the present perfect simple. The present perfect simple, the rule is you use have or has and the past participle. So I can say I have, we have, you have, they have, and past participle. Or he has, she has, it has, and past participle. I'm sure you know this rule for have and has. I, we, you, they go with have. He, she, it go with has. And in both, in have and has, after them we use past participle like go, went, gone, work, worked, worked, watch, watched, watched, or write, wrote, written. So we choose the third one, which is the past participle. I have written a book. We have visited a place. They have done the homework. They have done the homework. We have eaten the dinner. And for he, she, it, we say she has cleaned the house. He has done his homework. It has flown away. But you have to remember, if we have the present, which is now, and this is the future, and this is the past if we go back. So at this, period of time, which is started somewhere in the past, okay? Started somewhere in the past, we'll talk about it at this moment, and it continues to the present. This is, we call it the present perfect. Let's take more examples to the left here. One, I have seen. See, so, seen. So we choose the third part or the past participle. I have seen that movie 20 times. Two, I think I have met him once before. Three, there have been many earthquakes in California. Four, people have traveled to the moon. Also, five, people haven't traveled to Mars. This is the negative, just put not. And a question, have you read the book yet? So this is the present perfect. Have or has and the past participle, and started at a moment in, back in the past. We're talking about it now, and it continues to the future. I have seen that movie. It means you have seen that movie. 3 times, like in the first example to the left, it means you've seen it maybe a year ago, and 2 weeks ago you came back and you saw it again, and you maybe see it in the future. Now let's talk about the other part of the grammar, which is the present perfect progressive. The present perfect progressive is a little bit close to the present perfect simple, but if we're here in the present, it started somewhere in the past. I'm talking about it now in the present, and it's going to continue to the future. Here is an example. And the rule, as you can see, is you put have or has, been, any verb with ing, but be careful about some verbs that don't take ing, like, prefer, love, hate, and so on. So have been verb ing, or has been verb ing. Any verb with ing. I have been waiting for hours. Let's say you came to the bus stop at 4. Okay? So 4 was here, that is in the past. And now it is 6 o'clock. So you've been waiting for 2 hours. You came here at 4 o'clock. You waited for 2 hours, and you're talking about now. And you may wait another hour. I don't know. You may wait 6 hours. You may wait 7 hours. But what you're saying, so far, until now, I have been waiting for hours. Let's take more examples to the left. They have been talking for the last hour. 2, she has been working at the company for 3 years. What have you been doing for the last 30 minutes? James has been James has been teaching at the university since June. We have been waiting here for over 2 hours. So as you can see, you count either in how many times you did this, or you count time, maybe years, maybe minutes, maybe months, I don't know. But the rule is that you use have or has, been always, and any verb plus ing. Now let's compare when we use the present perfect simple and when we use the present perfect progressive. Now for the present perfect simple, or the simple past, we use it actually for an action which happened in the past, but the exact time is not mentioned. I traveled to Mecca, or I have traveled to Mecca. When, as you can see here, the exact time is not very important, and sometimes it's not mentioned. Also, we use the present perfect simple or the present perfect progressive for an action or a state which started in the past and continues up to the present, and the emphasis is on the action. So we care about the verb. Also, we use them both, the present perfect simple or the present perfect progressive, for an action or state which started in the past, continues to the present, and sometimes the emphasis is on the duration, the period of time. So we use them to lay some emphasis, or to draw attention, or to stress the verb or the action. So I care about what happened. Or we can use it to stress or draw attention to the time I spent. I've been waiting for 6 hours. I've been watching TV for 2 hours. I've been playing video games for 2 days. Okay? So don't do that. You're not going to play video games for 2 days. And what helps you is that we use some words like, some either adverbs or prepositions like for or since. That is going to give you a period of time and a specific point of time. For 6 hours, since June, since 1973, for 3 months. This will help you to use, or will give you some indication, oh, this is since or for. It means there is some present progressive or present perfect progressive or present perfect simple. Now this is a little bit difficult, but I know you can do it. Now we have 3 tenses to choose from and fill in the spaces. We have from 1 to 8. So read the text below and complete the blanks with the present perfect simple, have, has, past participle, I have worked, she has written, Or the present perfect progressive, it means I have been watching, she has been cooking. Or the past simple of the verbs in brackets or the verbs in red, like I worked, I watched, I cut, I saw, and so on. So I'm going to read this for you very quickly. Number one, I always want to do something interesting in my free time, but I work quite long hours and I'm often very tired when I get home from work. Some time ago, a friend of mine gave me the idea of joining every book and cranny, a book club which meets just once a week. I've been a member for the past 6 months and I enjoy every moment of it. The people in the club are very friendly and the atmosphere is fun and relaxed. For the past few weeks, we've been reading books by a famous writer so that we can exchange our thoughts at the end of the month. I'm really looking forward to do it. One of the members studied, or have been studying literature at university for the last 2 years. So he have been leading or have led or has led our conversations. Yesterday, I go to a bookshop and bought a dozen books for our next project, which is about poetry. All right, let's try to do number one. So, what do you say? I have. Forget about always. Let's look here in my free time. So this is I have always wanted. So we use the present perfect. I have always wanted to do something interesting in my free time, but I work quite long hours. And I'm often very tired when I get home from work. Some time ago, a friend of mine gave me the idea of, so a friend of mine, just simple past here, gave me the idea of joining every book and cranny, which is a book or a book club which meets just once a week. I be, be is, am is, are in the present, was, were in the simple past, and been in a present perfect. So I have been a member for the past 6 months. You're measuring time, so we use the present perfect progressive. I have been a member, okay? Or you can use here the present perfect. A member for 6 months, and I have enjoyed, and I guess here you can use them both. I have enjoyed or I have been enjoying every moment of it because you're still a part of the club. The people in the club are very friendly and the atmosphere is fun and relaxed. For the past few weeks, we have been reading. So far, you started to read, you're still reading. So we have been reading books by famous writers so that we can exchange our thoughts at the end of a month. I'm really looking forward to it. One of the members study at university for the last 2 years. So here you're also trying to measure time. So one of the members have been studying literature at the university for the last 2 years. So he has been leading our conversations. Yesterday, I went, because you have yesterday, I went to a bookshop to, and bought a dozen books for our next project, which is about poetry. Let's check our answers here. Okay, so number one, I have always wanted. Number two, gave me simple past. Number three, have been, which is, present perfect. And for number four, I have enjoyed, and both is correct, or I have been enjoying. The people in the club are very friendly. And number five, we have been reading. And number six, he or one of the members has been studying, and also 7, he has been leading. And finally, yesterday I went to a bookstore and to prepare for the project, which was about poetry. So let's remember what we did today, and what is the most important thing was about grammar, the present perfect and the present perfect progressive. The present perfect rule is we use have or has with any past participle. I have worked, we have built, they have cooked. And the present perfect progressive, we use have or has with been always, and any verb with ing. And we got some words to learn, which is bookworm, someone who loves reading a lot, constantly, all the time, and always. Intention, something or a plan you need or you intend to do, and when you come across or you came across, you found something by chance. You found something by chance. That's it. So here are the references and the resources you can check in for extra work. And for more lessons and information, you can visit our website. You can follow us on Twitter, and you can call us on a 24/7 help online. Thank you all for watching this. Until I see you again, enjoy your time, and assalamu alaikum.